Hi, this is Sweet June coming back at you with another video topic. Couldn't do a video outside because it's raining outside. So couldn't do it outside. So in my studio slash bedroom. It's been a while since I've done a video in here, so it's all good. I want to talk about somebody was on I was somebody's YouTube. I don't know if I was looking at somebody's video or I've seen it in a blog. It could have been a video or something I was looking at. And they was talking about black people being being woke, um, being Christians and being woke, or whatever. That's something interesting to talk about, and I got to thinking about it, and marinating on it, and it's like, that's interesting. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Can black people be Christian and woke? That's a good question. Can black people be Christian and woke? Um, I was going to actually do a whole nother video talking about what it means to be woke. So I'm going to give a brief. Uh, I'm going to give a brief description of what my understanding of being woke is as a black person. Um, or I'm going to give a definition as far as the definition as far as I understand it of being woke and black. So as a black person. So as far as I can understand it, being woke means um, that you're fully aware of how the system is set up. You're fully aware of the institutionalized racism that's going on. You're fully aware, and you are willing, and you're willing to educate yourself, and you have educated yourself on the history of racism in this country, the history of black people, of how black people was treated. And you're fully aware of the history, you're fully knowledgeable, and you studying the history. You're fully aware of the system, institutionalized racism, and how it operates and how it works. um, you're fully aware of um, the racism that's still very prevalent now, and how it relates to our society now. You're fully aware of um, how sometimes black people can be um, programmed um, and brainwashed and programmed into thinking a certain way. You know, you're fully aware of that, and you're not willing to. Because you're fully aware of it, you're not going to fall for it. You're not falling for the okie doke. You're not gonna fall for that because you're fully aware of that, of how the media plays a role in that, and how society as a whole play a role in um it's a word I want to use and I can't think of it. Brainwash, but it's another word that I wanted to use. You're fully aware. You're fully aware as a black person. You're fully aware of racism. You're fully aware of what it means to be a black person in this country. You're fully aware of the history. You're fully aware of the system and how it's set up. You're fully aware of what's going on in the black community, and you have a full understanding as to why things are being taken as things are taking place in the black community. Now that's my perception of what woke means. Um, you fully awoke of fully aware of what it of racism, all aspects of racism, and what's going on in our communities, why things are happening in our communities. Like I like some examples that I have. I consider myself a woke black person because Um, some examples are um, when I see um, where in black neighborhoods they seem to have um, liquor stores, like a lot of liquor stores. Even in the community I live in, um, they have liquor stores, and they have people of other races like the Arabs or Middle Eastern people running the the liquor stores, convenience stores, hair stores. But they're running the stores, but our people are not running the stores. Like back in the day, back in the 70s when I was growing up, they had what they call mom and pop shops, and black people ran those mom and pop stores, which they call them convenience stores now, but back in the day, they were called mom and pop stores. Well, the mom and pop stores in the black community was ran by black people back in the day. But now you have people from the outside of our community that are coming in our community and setting up shop and opening up stores and things, and they're selling our products to us, like hair products and types of different types of foods and things that we like. They're selling those things to us, and then they're taking the money back to their community when it should be our people that should be running those stores in our own communities and profiting, like that. But instead of that, we got other races of people coming into our community making money off of our people, which we should be making money off of our people. So that's what I see. Those are some of the things that I see in when you have a store in the black community, and that store has mostly um, junk foods. They don't have a lot of healthy food. Um, the fresh produce and fresh things and good things that you need, good healthy foods. It's few and far between, but they seem to have a lot of um, processed foods and stuff, foods that's not necessarily good for you at these particular stores. But then when you go to another neighborhood, which is predominantly black and middle class, upper class, it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole the grocery store is a whole different setup. Um, you got a whole you got stuff in there that you wouldn't find in the store in a predominantly black neighborhood. They got better produce, um, healthier foods, all kinds of things that's healthy for your body, and all that stuff that you wouldn't find in your local grocery store in your neighborhood. So that's, to me, I look at that kind of stuff. I notice that kind of stuff. It's the kind of stuff that would go over your head if you didn't pay any attention to it. But I have a tendency to notice those kind of things, and so that's why I consider myself woke, because I see um, stuff that goes on in the black community that black community is exposed to that's not necessarily the case in other neighborhoods, whatever. So I notice, I pay attention, and I notice stuff like that. So I consider myself to be woke anyway. So that's as far as my perception is the definition of being woke. Now the question is being posed that can a black person be Christian and woke? Which I think is a very, very good question. And I really, really marinated on that myself. So that's a good question. And I want to talk about Christianity as it relates to um, what a lot of black people's perception of Christianity is. A lot of black people feel like Christianity is um, white, something that was created by the white people back in slavery to control black people, to keep black people in line, to keep black people docile and obedient. The Bible was used um, against black people to back in the slavery days now to keep black people mentally in subjection. They not only wanted to keep the black people physically in subjection, they wanted to keep black people mentally in subjection. Um, and so they feel like, a lot of black people feel like Christianity was used um, to do that with black people back in the slavery days, and so they feel like that same thing is being done now as far as Christianity. A lot of black people don't believe in Christianity because they think it's something that was made up. It was that white man invented it, and it was used to keep black people mentally in a certain place, to keep black people mentally in line, so to speak, to the point to where you may be oblivious to certain things because they figure, according to them, that if you're so caught up in the Christianity, that you won't be aware of some of the things that black people, as a black people, as a people, that we're up against, like as far as institutionalized racism and things like that. They figure if they submerge you into Christianity, that you will be in a state of oblivion, so to speak, and you really won't be fully aware what's really going on, as far as it relates to racism, institutionalized racism, and the things and then when something does go down, like an unarmed black man being killed by the police or something like that, you're like, well, we got to pray about it or something like that. So, because you're totally immersed in Christianity. And so a lot of black people don't believe in Christianity because of that, because they feel like it's something that was made up that came from the white man, used to um, control black people mentally, make us more docile, get us more in subjection, make us more, um, maybe put us in a state of oblivion, and maybe just keep us mentally in a certain place. So it's a lot of black people that don't believe in it because of that. Me, I don't see it that way. I mean, so there's a lot of black people that just don't believe in Christianity. So they don't believe in Christianity. They don't believe in going to church. Um, doesn't mean that they're not spiritual. It just doesn't mean that they don't believe in organized religion at all across the board. None of them. Um, Me, as far as I'm concerned, um, there's only one organization I, you know, believe is on point, and that's Jehovah's Witnesses. You guys know that. um, because that organization is not just white people in it. Um, there's that. Some of them would say, well, that organization is the same as, and so there's black people that don't believe in organized religion at all because of that, because they think it's something that white people use to keep black people in subjection and keep black people mentally in a certain place and all that kind of stuff. So with that being said, um, as far as I'm concerned, I've been studying the Bible for quite some time now, and um, really opened my eyes to Bible truths, really aware of Bible truths, and really opened my eyes to Bible truth. And because I've opened my eyes to Bible truths and I'm fully aware of um, Bible truths, it has opened my eyes up to other truths. Not saying that my eyes wasn't open to other truths before, but it makes me more aware of other truths as well. And of course, I'm a realist. I consider myself a realist. And so I may see things differently. I don't see things like a lot of people do. I consider myself a realist. I see things, I have the ability to separate opinions from facts. And I believe in seeing things, I'm a realist. I consider myself a realist, keeping it 100 and keeping it real. And so, um, I consider myself a woke person as far as that. Um, but I do think that you could be a Christian and be woke. I think there's a lot of people think that you can't be both. A lot of black people, because a lot of black people don't believe in Christianity. They don't think that you could be a Christian and still be woke. But I do. I think that a black person can be Christian. I consider myself a Christian, but at the same time, I consider myself woke as well. I mean, you can still love God, you can still love Jesus, and you can still be woke. Because a lot of black people, I don't know, that's the mindset, of a lot of black people. They have some questions about Jesus as well. But the Bible says Jesus was black. I mean, Jesus was a man of color. You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what color Jesus was. No, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what color Jesus was. Um, but the Bible says that he was a man of color. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they just describe his features. Um, but I do believe that you can be Christian and be woke. It's actually it is a pretty good question. I consider myself Christian and woke because I know what's up out here. You guys know I've talked about different things in videos and things about racism and the system, and I've talked about, but you gotta go way back in my archives where I really get into some deep discussions about the system and all that kind of stuff. But you got to go like way back in my archives, and some of those topics I'm probably going to wind up revisiting and updating. So I'm going to wind up updating and revisiting some of those topics and updating some of those topics because I did them quite a while back. So you don't have to actually go way back and search through. I'm going to revisit some of those topics, but um, it is definitely a good question, and I do believe that um, black people can be Christian and woke. Um, some black people may not be Christian and woke. It depends on the person. It depends on their mentality. I think it's important to be woke because we need to be fully aware of your life could be in danger as a black person if you're not woke. I think your life could be if you're black. Um, in today's world and what's going on in the world, your life could be very well be in danger if you're not woke. Yeah, you can't walk around as a black person, realistically, you can't walk around in a total state of oblivion, because actually, I have a video coming up. There is a sister, and she's here on YouTube. Her name is Patricia Dixon. Dixon, I think that's her name. She claims to have never experienced any racism in her lifetime. Stay tuned. I'm gonna talk about her. I'm gonna discuss her. She actually has a YouTube channel on here. Um, I looked at her video where she was talking about that, and I thought that was deep. And I was like, "Whoa, what she mean she ain't never experienced no racism?" I'm gonna stay tuned because I'm gonna do a video talking about her. Patricia Dixon, that's her name. She claims to have never experienced any racism in her life. That's what she said. You guys know any black people like that? Anyway, that's another video topic. I'm definitely coming to that. But I think that being a Christian, because I wrote some things down here. I think being a Christian helps us to cope, and serving God helps us to cope with the effects of racism. I think it helps us to cope. Um, it helps me. It helps me to deal with it. It helps me to deal with the anger because sometimes I do get angry. Um, but I think all those things are okay. All those things are normal. Because it's injustice. It's racism is injustice. It's injustice towards our people, and it's not natural. It's injustice, and it's not natural. It's not okay. It's not natural to mistreat someone or treat people a certain way because of their race, the color of their skin, or because of their race. Because no one can choose their race. That I think that's the most appalling thing to me about racism is that, okay, I didn't ask to be born black, so why are you mistreating me? Because I didn't ask to be born. I didn't ask to be born this color, so it's like you're mistreating someone because of their the color of the skin, or because they're a certain ethnicity, or they because they're a certain race, or it's just as if people have the ability to choose their race. It's just ridiculous. So I think that's the most appalling thing about racism to me. You know, is that no one has the ability to choose their race. So how you gonna mistreat me because of something that I had no control over? You know. So, but I do. I think. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Can you be woke and be Christian? Can you? It's actually a really good question. I think you can. I think I consider myself Christian and woke. You know, I definitely consider myself woke. You know, um, I think it's certainly possible to be that. You know, you just it depends on your mindset or whatever your frame of thinking. I think some people can be religious. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Christian and religious. Some people can be Christian and religious to a fault, to the point to where it does give them a false sense of reality. You know, because you could be Christian and religious to a fault, to the point to where you don't have no sense of reality. You know, and that can be a issue. That can be a problem because you still the Bible says we're not other world, but we still got to live in the world. We're still in the world. We're still living in the world. No, we're not other world, but we're still living in the world, and then some of the things that's going on in the world is going to affect us. You know, whether we're serving God or not. You know, I think we all can agree on that. So um, you can't be so spiritual or so Christian to the point to where you're just in a total state of oblivion and you're just in la la land. You know, that's just no. It doesn't make you gotta come on now. You gotta be aware of what's going on around you. You know, and it could literally save our lives, and our lives could be in danger if we're not aware of what's going on. You know, really, seriously. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Can you be Christian and woke? Let me know what you think about that. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share my video. Hit that notification bell so every time I do a video, it will pop up on your phone or whatever. Check me out in your free spare time. I wouldn't recommend watching my videos on the clock. But watch my videos on your break, or when you get home after you get done getting your cleaning done and all that kind of stuff, and getting your things done and you're situated for the day. Check me out. Check out my videos. Okay. With that being said, be sure to do those things. Hope you guys have a blessed day. I gotta go get ready, grab something to eat, get ready for work. So I'll be coming back at you. In the meantime, peace and love. This is Sweet Jill.